Not today, anxiety. Not today. Not today. That's all I have to say. Just not today, anxiety. I, for some reason, was having technical difficulties. Hopefully, you can see and hear me now. First, the audio wasn't working, the video wasn't working. Then I went in black and white. So I guess that I was meant to have some kind of old school throwback 50s movies today, but I'm not sure if you can see or hear me now because it's not showing anyone in the chat, but happy Friday. Happy friggin' Friday. It's already been a very long morning, but we are here and we are going to help keep each other sane, right? So for those of you that are new, I'm Amanda, and every Friday we just have a little powwow to talk about where we're at with our mental health, to share our wins, to share some good news because we all need it, right? If you are having a mental health crisis, please make sure to reach out to a suicide hotline or to a mental health professional. I am not a professional. Any advice I give is just based on my experiences or the experiences of the clients that I've worked with or friends that I've had or just people that I've interacted with. So please reach out for help if you need help. Hello, good morning. Yes, you can hear and see me. Fantastic. David says anticipations make things better. You know, maybe I was just feeling like a little YouTube foreplay this morning. Happy Friday, Francisco. Hello, hello. Amanda's win. She didn't go Dexter on her computer. Quite, maybe. Well, first rule of code is don't get caught. So you don't know that I didn't go Dexter on my computer. If I did it right. I am not an IT professional, but yes, third time's a charm. I made it. I'm here. Vought says last week was a disaster. This week is a bang. Last week was a disaster. This week might be a bang with a $5 hooker. I just needed my tea. Also, if you are new, it can get quite chatty in here and there can be a lot of messages. So if you want to make sure that I see your message, please make sure to use that super sticker function. You can also use the super chat function to make pledges toward my mental health outreach. I appreciate it. Got a little crazy in here last week. I was doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So we'll see how it goes this week. But you know what? I am going to share that good news story because I need some good news today. Aaron says, yes, please don't break your computer. I will try my best, all right? No promises. So the good news for today is Botswana is on the path to seeing no babies born with HIV. Country may be Africa's first to stop mother-baby transmission as WHO hails groundbreaking falls in rates from 40% to 1%. So that is just awesome. Being told her baby Lissetti was born without the HIV virus was probably the happiest news I've heard, says Neo Gonsmang, a street vendor. The relief from the guilt and fear was unmatched. Lissetti from Celebi Pikwi, a mining town in the east of Botswana, was born just months after her 35-year-old mother learned she was HIV positive. What frightened me the most was the idea of ruining my baby's life before she even was born by passing the virus on to her. According to the World Health Organization, she had a 15 to 45% chance of passing the virus on to her daughter. Very few babies now born in Celebi Pikwi to women with the virus are HIV positive thanks to a national campaign to stop mother-to-child transmissions in a country that once had the highest HIV prevalence rate in the world. In 1999, the government launched its Prevention of Mother-to-Child Transmission program. Pregnant women are encouraged to get tested and are immediately put on the ART, which is the antiretroviral therapy. If they are HIV positive, their babies are given ART for up to 6 weeks after birth. Women who are negative are retested during pregnancy and while breastfeeding. More than 2 decades on, Botswana, which still has a high adult HIV prevalence rate of 20%, with most of the cases being among women, is on its way to becoming the first African country to eliminate mother-to-child transmissions. I think that is beautiful. I think that is a good piece of news in the world today, and I am always happy to see things progressing and see science. Science. That's what we needed to see this morning is science. War Moose, I'm sorry you can't stick around too long, but I'm glad you could drop in. Sorry that I am late today. Oh, Aaron says that he bets you guys can make it even more crazy in here today. Please don't make me do anything too terrible. And keep in mind that I wasn't able to completely strap my mic on, so that might be a problem. Afternoon, Eugene. Mm. George, his first live ever, not just from you either. Oh, we have a virgin in our midst. Welcome, George. We'll try to be gentle. Oh, David says he's loving the new hair look. This is called the relaxed bun. So I got a new shampoo and conditioner. It's not quite working the way I wanted it to. So this was my style for the morning. Oh, well, I'm glad that my voice can bring some comfort to someone having a bad week. Thanks, Eugene. Oh, Tweaks says same, just subbed last night after watching you react to Snuff. Oh, David, look at that. You have other people in here that are your people. David came into the channel from Snuff as well and now is completely addicted because his channel is 99.1% pure. Eugene says his daughter and my daughter and I had an argument and she hasn't called me in 2 days. As a parent and as a daughter, I can say that we get moody. We can get very moody and need our space, and we don't realize who we're hurting at the time because we're just trying to process. So I hope that you guys can work that out, but just from the perspective of a female who can get incredibly emotional and shut people out when I don't know how to deal with them, I am confident that you guys will work it out. Just make sure that that you express to her how you feel and that you want to make amends, and leave it open for her to do so. I always like kind gestures during that time, but just don't go too overboard because, like I said, I really need space at the same time. Vought! I'm glad you got your headphones, by the way. I heard that you got your package. Sorry that it was a little delayed. I know overseas shipping these days can be quite the nightmare. Black Dog says, oh wow, didn't realize I caught this right at the start. Awesome. Good news is always great. See something good happen from us having technical difficulties as Black Dog didn't miss the stream. Yeah, I'm sure, Eugene, it is compounded by her depression. From personal experience, I can say that when I get in an altercation with someone, it takes me quite some time to get back to stasis, to get back to my base point, because it's really overwhelming for my psyche. So it's very difficult for me to come back down after that. Most people can be in an argument and be over it 15 minutes later. And for me, it can take days to process that. So when I was in a environment where that was frequent. That's why it was so difficult to maintain even a base level of mental health, because I was always having that triggered. So I was always trying to work out those emotions and work through those thoughts, and there was never a break. So it was just really overwhelming. See, yeah, David's right. Give her some space, but just make sure she does know that she's loved and supported, because that's what she needs the most during this time, is that validation, reassurance that you do care about her and you are willing to fight for her, but you're also willing to respect her need for space. Time is golden. It's most often better to let time go, however more you want to contact. Okay, so how is everybody else this week? I feel like there's just kind of been a heavy aura lately that a lot of people are just experiencing more stress, more anxiety. I don't know what it is, if it's just there's a lot of distressing things in the news, or if we're all feeding off each other because there's higher stress levels. But I have found it very, very challenging lately to really maintain my cool, my mental health. It's been a bit difficult. Yeah, I do stay off the news. Don't worry about that. I do stay off the news, Angelic Storm. I just want to say, before too many people show up and drown me out, your Fade to Black reaction helped change my life. I've always felt so alone, and that reaction helped me see that I'm not. Thank you. Thank you so much, George. It means a lot to me to know that the content here is helping people, and showing them the truth that we're all connected and a lot of us are going through struggles like this, and you absolutely aren't alone. And now that you're here in this community, we've got your back. We will take you in. We will listen to you. We'll hold space for you. So welcome to the community. And it really does mean a lot to me that I could change your perspective and change your life like that. So mwah, thank you, George. Oh, for some reason. Oh, I have someone stronger than me who gets me through it. I can definitely relate to that. The important thing in all relationships, family, friends, loved ones, etc., is that they know you will love and support them even when you don't agree with their decisions. That's David. Absolutely true. I think that the hardest times for me was when I would make a mistake, and believe me, I'm already shredding myself for whatever it was I did. The guilt, the shame, the anxiety is already ripping me apart. I don't need other people doing it. Now, that person saying, "Hey, you did this and it really made me feel this way and I'm worried about you," or whatever, is one thing, but if I feel like there's someone close to me that just doesn't care when I'm struggling, or I shut off and they don't even reach out to see if I'm okay, that can put a strain on there. So I agree with that, that even if you don't agree with someone's decision, so even if, Eugene, even if your argument was over something that you guys really morally disagreed on, I think the most important thing is just showing her that you'll support her no matter what, and that you love her and care about her. Oh, I think we had some good news that I missed. Warmoose says, I got a couple of good things. I may have found this special one and going to be seeing a counselor. Those two things are huge. So early snaps for Warmoose Eternal for these awesome things. For those of you that don't know the snaps, we're going to be getting there in just a couple of minutes with the song. Yes, couldn't miss the song today. I think I need to get some good energy flowing. So singing to you guys with my hyena back leg caught in the car door voice somehow does make me feel a little better. Vincent's here. Hi, all. Stay strong, everyone. I'm still here. Also, just been busy. We miss you, Vincent, but thanks for checking in. Sanjay says, I'm just sick and tired of people telling me, look at the positive, or in time, or the worst of all, God has a plan. Oh, gosh. That one is kind of a big trigger to me, because even let's assume for a second that it's true. Let's just say God or universe or whatever has a plan and everything's working out just as it should. That doesn't make the process of the journey any easier for us when that plan involves struggles. And it's incredibly invalidating when people say things like that. And while there is a lot of good that can come from gratitude or from focusing on positivity or affirmations or things like that, you also have to be able to face reality and accept the negatives and come to terms with them and really look at them and say, hey, yeah, this is happening and I'm going to sit with it and I'm going to feel uncomfortable, because that takes the power away from the anxiety and depression. So if you could sit there and you could just say, I feel uncomfortable right now. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I don't need to be happy in this moment because I'm human, and allow those feelings to come and go. That's a whole lot more effective than trying to say, okay, I feel great right now. I'm just going to shove it all down and pretend to be positive. There's a time and place for the positivity and for the affirmations and things like that. And that time, in my opinion, in my experience, is after you've already had time to process the stuff that's coming up, the uncomfortable feelings, emotions, situations that's coming up. You can't just say, okay, let's be positive, or everything passes, everything changes, everything will work out. I will never say anything like that. I promise. You will never hear me say anything like that. Although, as I said, I am a proponent of positive thinking and positive affirmations and positivity in general. There has to be balance there. And I'm sorry from all of on sorry on behalf of humanity for uneducated and ignorant people telling you things like that, because you absolutely have the right to have your emotions and to feel how you're going to feel and find a way to process through those. And that's not always pretty, and it doesn't always need to be pretty. I always say that we are the ones who have to live this life regardless of whether God put us here. Absolutely true. Yep. We are the ones that have to go through the journey, go through the process. And if there is something else, then we honor that something else by living our best life, by appreciating creation, by helping our fellow beings here on this planet. And if there is a deity and that deity is just, then it will see that I did my best and that I tried to live a good life, and any disbelief I have or had wasn't out of rebellion, that I genuinely wanted to be a good person, and that I have no problem serving a higher power, serving others, or serving myself, serving in general. I have no problem serving. So it never was spawned out of rebellion or anything like that. So that's kind of the mindset I have in my life. Warmer says, got a humble brag on my puppy. Had a really bad panic attack the other night. He did his job 100% to the T. I'm so proud of him. I miss my doggies. My Paris used to be like that whenever I was sad or I get out of a relationship, or even when I lost my dad and then my mom. She was there through so much. I had her for 15 years. And she would always come over and just lay her head on me and sometimes kiss me and snuggle up next to me. But she could sense when I was having symptoms of anxiety or I was having a panic attack or something like that. She was very supportive. So Gus, he's something. He is definitely something. He has been fairly affectionate when I am having challenges, which I've had a lot of the past few weeks, but it's not the same, just not the same as my Mirage and my Paris and my Cairo, my little chihuahuas that I had. I'm not really a big dog person, so still looking for a forever home for Gus. He needs to be the only dog, he needs to be the only pet, and he needs to be with someone that can give him a lot of affection. That's what I've noticed, a lot of energy. He likes to throw the ball. He likes to go for walks. Actually, he doesn't really like for you to throw the ball. He just likes for you to give him the ball, and then he will chew on the ball in a corner for 30 minutes. He doesn't really like to play fetch per se, but you could throw the ball or the toy for him, and he'll go get it and then take it up by himself and chew on it. So he is a very independent dog, but at the same time likes to go on walks and snuggle on the couch. So if anyone is in Arizona that is looking for a fur baby, please get in contact with me. I really want him to find his forever home soon because I don't want him to feel like I'm abandoning him as well. So I'm wanting to find the perfect situation for him. So that has been one of my big priorities lately. And I've just got to get some things off my plate and checked off my list, and finding a good home for Gus would really mean a lot to me. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, you can go over my community and see pictures of Gustavo, this beautiful Mastiff brindle that I rescued and am fostering. Kirk McComas says, my dad's balanced response was always, it will feel better when it stops hurting. He's not wrong. All right, who's ready for some snaps? Because there were a lot of wins in the community. I was very excited to see so many posts this week. So I really am looking forward to sharing. Look at that. Look how many there are this week. There's so many. It's great to see the community growing. It's great to see more people coming in and checking in every week with their mental health wins. And that's what the Snap Cup is. The Snap Cup is inspired by Legally Blonde 2. It's just a way to share our warm fuzzies and share our wins, because we talk so much about our struggles that we forget to check in with our wins. So with the Snap Cup, y'all have to sing with me. With the Snap Cup comes the Snap Cup song. So Snap Cup time, gather you round, friends and foes together, united and bound. Pass it to your neighbor instead of blowing up, and you'll find harmony and love in a Snap Cup. All right, let's get some long ones this time too, which is kind of cool to me because people feel comfortable with sharing more and more. So let's pull one out. I didn't fold them this time. My win, by the way, is the fact that I finally got my printer working so I don't have to handwrite them all, which has the added benefit of not reading them in advance. So Luke Alone Productions says, lots of wins for me. I've finally beaten my friend in Warhammer 40k battle report. Previously, I was always losing with him, but now finally I had good dice rolls. He was finally annihilated. Best time ever. Also, I think I have finally closed the chapter with my ex. She left me after our accident, and it hurt me for so long. I thought I'd moved on, but still I was reading her old messages and watching her pictures. I still felt like all of this was my fault. This week, I finally deleted her old messages and pictures. I feel so free. Like an eagle, I can finally spread my wings and go further. That is the third eagle reference I've seen this morning, and the eagle represented my dad, so I think that that's really awesome. But I am so proud of you. So many snaps for that, because I know it can be very difficult to let go and to get rid of those mementos if you feel that's what's best for your journey. I know that that could be very difficult. I always put mine away. That's my way of letting go, is putting them away, because I don't want to get rid of them as far as pictures and stuff. So I put the pictures away so they're there, but I don't have to look at them anymore, and I don't pull them out or anything. Aaron says, sorry, he's late. Sing that song. Thank you, Aaron. But I think that's amazing that you're finally seeing that sometimes relationships don't work out, but that doesn't mean we failed. That doesn't mean we did something wrong. It just means that that chapter closed. So I don't regret my past relationships. I don't regret my marriage or breakups or anything like that, because what I needed to learn, the journey I needed to be part of, played out. And that's great. And that's beautiful. And it sounds like your chapter had come to a close, and I'm glad that you were finally able to put the book back on the shelf where it belongs. That's beautiful. I think there was something else in here that I wanted to say. Oh, no, I guess that's it. But I'm glad that you're realizing that it's not all your fault. I think that this is that moment at the end of the movie where the main character throws their phone out the window or throws their phone into the fountain or whatever and finds themselves again. Says, I don't need the boss, I don't need the ex, I don't need whatever the case is, and finds themselves again. So I think that that's wonderful. Wait, who's calling PETA? Oh, if anyone wants to adopt Gus, I'm sure Amanda would be willing to autograph him for you. I will absolutely autograph Gus's collar for anyone who adopts Gus. Okay, this one is pretty long too. I love it. Anthony J. Adventures Tactical Tony says, I've been living in my truck since last weekend. Can't afford my $200 weekly rent and hospital bills, so I figured, F it. I lived in a 32-foot camper with another person's dog for 3 years. I can live in my truck for the week. Positivity. Well, this check is just as small as my last, but there's a life lesson here. I can't figure it out yet, but I'm doing my absolute best for my situation, which is all you can do, and I'm proud of you for that. Bright side, I'm still employed, looking at the positive, so I got that going for me, but it is hot, very, very hot. It's been in the upper 80s and 90s all week. It's 115 here. So my truck is like an oven. For as much as I love to film nature and rivers, I'm actually scared to death, terrified of open water like rivers and oceans. So dipping in to cool off is out of the question. I have a bucket on a string for water to cool me off. As for dirtbagginess, I have a pop-up foot pump powered enclosed camping shower, privacy blind. Mentally, I'm okay. No self-loathing thoughts. Huge win. No self-blame or thoughts of harming myself or relapsing. Huge, huge win. I just need to ride it out. Will get better eventually. I know it will. Yes, it will. Absolutely amazing that you can stay positive and stay focused and connect with that gratitude, the things that you do have. And this reminds me so much of my parents, because my parents were homeless. I've said this before. My parents were homeless when they had me, but they were so happy together, and they really focused on the things that they did have and the things that brought them joy in their lives, and they managed to build back up from scratch. So it absolutely is possible. You absolutely will get through the situation, but I am really proud of you for not giving in to the urges to harm or relapse, self-harm or relapse. I'm very proud of you for that. So many, many snaps to you for finding that strength through a difficult situation. Oh, Warrior Poet! Johnny is in here. Warrior Poet, hello. Just got up. Hope everyone's doing well and has a great weekend. It's been a testing week. That is an understatement. Yes, it is. Skull Crusher. My mental health wins listening to positive affirmations and living for the moment, enjoying the outside weather and eating fruit snacks. Laugh out loud, my favorite kinds of fruit to eat. You know, I'd like to give you that extra snap for fruit snacks, but just go eat an apple. Just go eat some grapes. Just go eat some berries. But I will give you the snaps for the positive affirmations and living in the moment, something I'm working on more. That's such a difficult thing to do in today's day and age. And a lot of people don't really realize it, that we spend so much time, and I fall victim to this all the time, where we spend so much time saying, okay, I need to do all these things, and these are the things I'm going to do for the day. And while we're doing one activity, we're already in our head in the next 3 activities. So I think I'm very proud of you for being able to live in the moment. And that inspires me to do so more and more as well. Backup bro, hello. Oh, I can't get him out. I can't get him out. I will say I was going to mention with Anthony J. Adventures Tactical Tony and the fear of water. I wonder if that's something that you can incorporate exposure therapy to be able to combat during this time. Maybe that is part of the lesson that you're meant to learn during this time, is confronting that fear and that anxiety and being able to slowly make progress toward overcoming it. Just a thought just came to me. Oh, Warrior Poet, you're here, and I pulled yours out next, so perfect timing, serendipitous. I channeled more early week frustration into motivation this week, shaved for the first time in over a year, and was going to get my hair cut the other day, but the barber wasn't in. That would have been fine if he hadn't left the open sign up. How frustrating. Guess my long quarantine hair remains. What if I just didn't shave for a year? I feel jealous as a woman that you can do that. I can't. But snaps to you for finding a way to turn your frustration to motivation. I know that can be very difficult, but it feels so empowering when we pull it off. So snaps to you for that. Hello, Dean. You should keep needle nose pliers nearby to help get snaps out of the cup. It's just I usually fold them, and I didn't have time to do that this morning, so I didn't fold them. So they're all just kind of stuck together this morning. Scott Austin. Since starting a new job, possibly the best ever for me. Yes. I've had several wins. The best is just losing a lot of stress. That is definitely a big win. I drove 2 hours one way to spend an hour and a half with some friends. Grabbed dinner before driving home. I gave a large tip to a young lady I've known for a few years. She has 2 beautiful babies. Her and her fiance are doing well, but I'm old and doing much better. So why not? I love when people share their bounties with others, be that emotionally, mentally, fiscally, whatever the case is. I love to hear that. I'm so happy for you that you have been able to diminish some of that stress just with getting probably back into a routine and feeling that uh, I don't want to say usefulness, because that's not the word I'm looking for, but I know that a lot of people really struggle when they don't have a job because they don't feel like they have a purpose. That's what I'm looking for. So finding that sense of purpose again, being able to spend time with your friends, probably being able to drive. Sometimes that was my mom's therapy. My mom, when she would get really stressed out or upset, she would go drive, and that was very therapeutic for her. So a lot of wins in there. I'm very happy to hear all of them. So snaps to you, Scott Austin. Oh. David is answering Eugene. I'm not sure which comment he's answering. This is Amanda watches Dexter. You know she has needle nose pliers near her, but you don't want to know what she uses them on. Oh, darling, I have better tools than that. Bookworm of the fandoms Says, I journaled every day. I got up the courage to give all potentially dangerous things in my room to someone else. Very proud of you. I know that is very difficult when we have those urges. We can get into those urges, but we make a positive step for ourselves and say, nope, not today, not going to do this. I'm going to protect myself. And we become our own knight in shining armor. So snaps to you for journaling. That can be very helpful just to get some things out, and snaps to you for keeping those things away from you and giving them to a friend. Very proud of you. Let's see. Jake Smith. Checked out this game called Stray on PS4. Who would have thought that playing as a cat would be relaxing? Now I'm kind of tempted to check this game out because that sounds something up my alley. But snaps to you, Jake, for finding out or for finding a new game and for being open-minded enough to play it. And I think things like that can be really helpful because it's not really complicated. It's not really stressful. It can just be something that helps us relax again and helps us have something to focus on, something interactive but not overtly stimulating. Oh, Edward, I see yours. You still in here? Edward says, I made a friend who was having a hard time laugh by simply making a giant ass out of myself. Felt good to get back to someone who has helped me a lot. That is very sweet, and I'm sure that that friend very much appreciated your goofiness in whatever way that was portrayed. I'm sure that that friend appreciated it much more than you know, so snaps to you for being able to give back and helping someone else laugh, and I'm sure you laughed at the thought of that person snorting, snaffling. We'll say snaffling. Oh, Vincent said, it's not about how, oh, he's answering Edward, it's not about how I feel about it towards another person. It's a personal thing. If you as a woman want to grow the hair, then you should just do so and not be bothered by others' opinions. Truth. Becca Bro says, hey, Amanda, thanks for being transparent about your mental health. Really appreciate it. Thank you. And I am happy to be here. I'm happy to be able to be me and to be free for the first time in my life. Feels really good. Better than you know. Homesick Alien. Funny thing about that is I used that term not too long ago when I was writing a piece in my journal. I used the term homesick alien, so that's really funny. Picked up the guitar again, and I'm finally learning a song I actually like. Laugh out loud. The ones the teacher chooses just aren't for me. Also, plan on trying to compose something whole out of all those misguided, misshaped verses I write. Maybe sing too. All to myself, by myself, until I find someone to join me. It'll be good. It's all good. It's all good, man. But yes, snaps to you for being able to get back into that, for knowing that you just don't resonate with those things. In school, I didn't resonate with the books that were selected for us most of the time. Where the Red Fern Grows. That book was boring, just, ugh, I couldn't stand that book. So my mom read it for me and gave me the notes while I'm off reading books that were several years above my grade level. I loved to read. I was always a bookworm, and she would have never liked that otherwise. She would have never done something like that, as in helping me cheat. But the truth is I was reading, I was learning, I was stimulating myself. I was not in any way struggling with those skills. I just didn't like the content that they provided or that they assigned to us. So I can absolutely empathize with that, and I can't wait for you to share what you compose. And I don't think that those verses that you write are misguided or misshaped. I think maybe they're just pieces of a whole that haven't been put together yet. So if you do find someone to join you, awesome. If you don't, does not matter. I'm sure it will sound beautiful. So snaps to you. Oh, Goofsters World says, hi, I started watching your videos when you got into Nightwish. I really liked the way that you interpreted some of their lyrics. Well, you've been here for a while, so I'm glad that you could finally jump into the stream. I don't know if this is your first stream, but I don't remember you chiming in the past, so I'm glad that you have stuck with me all this time. Michael says, logged in late, joined on the hair growth length piece. What is your view on the Natalie Portman hair shaving scene and setting in V for Vendetta from a mental health standpoint? You know, I watched that movie once, but I don't have a real strong connotation to the theme of the movie or what was going on during that time, but just from being a woman who has cut her hair to deal with extreme mental duress in the past, or to try to redefine myself, or things like that, I can say that we as women very much do connotate our hair with our sense of self. So any hairstylist worth their salt, just so you know, will never ever ever do anything super drastic to a woman's hair, because they know that it's almost always a result of a very serious emotional event that has taken place in their life. For example, when I got out of a relationship when I was 19, I was absolutely in love with the guy and it broke my heart. So I had hair about down to here, platinum blonde, went off, chopped it into a pixie cut, and dyed it jet black. It's the types of things that women do because we feel, number one, this is something we have control over. Number two, it's how we speak to the world. So when we wear makeup, when we style our hair a certain way, that's the way we're wanting to present ourselves to other people. It really doesn't have so much to do with if another person approves. It's just a way of expressing ourselves. So it it is indicative of mental health oftentimes. So I apologize that I can't speak specifically on that scene, just because I only saw the movie once many years ago, so I don't have any direct, what I would consider to be expertise on the matter. But I do think that there's a very, very, very strong connection and correlation between a woman's mental health and her hair in many cases. I'm not saying that's true for everyone, but it is true for a lot of women. Just think about when Brittany became unstable back in 2007 and shaved her head. I think a lot of women have been there. Thank you so much, Krill Catfishing. Thank you. Mwah. I'm glad that y'all aren't going to make me do anything too terribly crazy today, question mark. Gooster says, another thing that brought me to your channel is the mental health part, since I am still recovering from severe depression last year. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're recovering. We all fall into difficult times, dark times. Sometimes some of us stay there longer than others, but I'm happy to hear that you're recovering and healing, and I'm glad to be part of that journey. I'm honored to be part of that journey with you. I think Brittany was a bit unstable prior to 2007, just saying. I think that was when things really hit obviously a breaking point for her. I think that's when everything just compounded on her, because I can't imagine having my entire childhood, my entire life taken away from me and be given to public, be given to people that I don't know, I really have no direct connection with. She gave up her childhood in many ways, and I think that there was a lot of pressure to be someone that she wasn't during these times when she should have been exploring herself. And after having her children, I think she was going through untreated postpartum. This is obviously an unprofessional opinion, but just from the information that I saw at the time, I think that she was going through untreated postpartum, and things just became too much for her, and that was how it came out. That was how she processed it, because she didn't have any other skills at the time. Isaiah Welch says, in my honest opinion, it's a scene designated or designed to break down a person to genetic identity. It's why the military does it. Yeah, it's what they did in World War II to the prisoners in Auschwitz, is they'd shave their head because it's demoralizing, and it really shows that breakdown to our very most simplistic identity. Yeah, it really breaks things down to the core of your humanity. So at that point, you're not being defined by how you style your hair, whether or not you choose to wear makeup, or what outfit you wear. And if I remember correctly, she was in prison at the time, and in jail or prison, it's not like you can express yourself with what clothes you wear. So it was just a way of returning to that core, that base point, stripping yourself of these identifying characteristics. Black Dog says, it's never too late. You don't have to be a shredder. Laugh out loud, as in the Ninja Turtles? What are we doing here? A good rhythm or melody, and you're a great guitarist. Okay, that type of shredder. All right. Some practice too goes a long way. It's true. I know that there are some other people in here that have picked up instruments recently that I am very proud of. I agree. It's never too late. I taught myself a language in my 30s, and most people will say that, oh, you can't do that once you're not a child anymore. It's so much easier to pick up lyrics and stuff when, or I'm sorry, lyrics, to pick up a language when you're a child. And while from the evidence I've had presented, that is a huge myth. And one of my buddies wrote an article about that over on his website, Fluent in 90 Days. And there was also an article on French Together. The Fluent 90 Days is from Benny, and French Together is from Benjamin. Both are really awesome, but they both wrote articles about how it has nothing to do with age. I think when we're kids, we're more confident, so we don't really care as much what other people think when we're practicing, and kids can focus in on things for longer periods of time, while adults tend to jump around a whole lot more, and I think that is a big part of the problem. Yes, Aaron, returning to innocence. You're correct. David, thank you. David says, I think men's mental health around physical appearance can be overlooked. Yes, media sets unrealistic expectations for women's bodies, but it does for men too. Hair clubs, muscles, abs, smooth skin, and no body hair, etc. I agree with this, and I think that it is something that is largely ignored, but there's also a double standard there that women want to be accepted as they are. So they in many cases don't want to put in the effort to attain a particular body type, and that's okay. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but then these same women have the expectations that their significant other goes to the gym 5 times a week and eats this very strict regime to have washboard abs or to have this flawless skin. And I think that trying to pressure people into looking a certain way never leads anywhere good when it comes to mental health. But I absolutely agree with you, David. I think that there is an unspoken uh, pandemic almost with men being highly pressured to look a specific way, while women are trying to push this narrative that they should be accepted no matter what. We should be accepting everybody no matter what. Oh, Boston, thank you. Boston says, hello from Canada. I recently moved here from Ukraine after the Russian invasion. I'm still suffering from PTSD and lost my older brother from a Russian bomb. I am so sorry. I can't even imagine what that is like. I can't imagine what it's like to be running from war and having to leave your home country. My heart really goes out to you for that. I'm glad that you're safe. I hope that your brother is resting in peace, and I hope that you can find peace through this process. Know that we are here for you as a community in whatever way you need. If you want to share memories of your brother here, just so we can help keep him alive, we are happy to listen and just hold space for you while you go through this grieving process and the healing process from this trauma. And know that what you're feeling is completely okay. You might have conflicting feelings. You might really be struggling with a lot of things that don't make sense, and that's completely normal because our brains were not meant to be exposed to things this extreme and this violent. So your brain is doing exactly what it's meant to do, and it's trying to protect you in the only way it knows how. So just understand that. Get help as you need it. Come here as often as you like or as you need, and we do care about you. Just know that we care about you, and we support you, and we'll do anything we can for you. Thank you very much for the pledge. Vincent says, positive news for me. I'm putting aside my Vacatin money toward the new kitchen. Need to cook electric due to gas prices, but now my girlfriend booked the holiday going to see Venice, Italy for the first time. It's gorgeous. You'll love it. It smells a little funky, but there's just so much beauty in being away from all of the cars and everything. And I know they travel by boat, but it seemed to me in Venice that you didn't have to go very far away to get away from a lot of noise pollution. Things were just a lot more tranquil. I went back in 2016, I believe, with one of my really close friends, and it was so beautiful. You'll love it. I even have a painting of Venice in my living room because I just water grounds me. Water is my grounding element. So if I have a panic attack, I will drink water, run my hands under cold water, run my feet under hot water. So water is very grounding for me. And I found Venice to just be so relaxing, and it really helped me connect to the world again. And I was very mindful while I was there. I remember that, just being really, really mindful. Now, let me give you a word of advice. Two things is, I don't know if you've ever been, I don't know how your country handles alcohol, but they didn't sell wine by the glass there. They sold it by the bottle. I don't know if your country does that, but my friend and I ended up, okay, we got a bottle of wine over dinner. So we ended up drinking this entire bottle of wine during dinner, which we are both fairly small people. This was challenging to navigate back to our room. But the way that the architecture, or the way that the buildings settle, the way that the architecture is structured, because the city is on water, the stairs and things tend to be just slightly uneven, and you don't notice it so much when you're sober. But when you drink half a bottle of wine, it makes it very challenging to get up the stairs that aren't quite even. So just notice that the architecture shifts just slightly, that the buildings are not entirely even. So I have a video somewhere of my friend literally crawling up the stairs to our hotel room because she couldn't figure out how to walk up because of the shift in the foundation of the building. Great memory of that. Thanks for that. Isaiah Welsh says, uh, oh, was in response to, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Uh, AF Lovable says, on Monday, I bury my wife of 25 years, and I wish I would be with her. My condolences first and foremost for the loss of your wife. 25 years, I can imagine, because that would be over half of my life. And I know that it can be very challenging. I watched my mom really struggle after she lost my dad, because they were together for 22 years, I believe, at the time of his passing. And I remember my mom just struggling to find her identity again. And it really helped her to go to groups with other widows, just to be able to connect to other people and see how they were managing and see the skills that they were using. But nothing is going to take that pain away completely, uh, or make it okay. You're never going to get over that loss. I will say my mom did find reasons to smile again, and she unfortunately passed a few years after my dad, but she did find reasons to smile again, and we did find times to reminisce about my dad and connect to his memories, and that was really some of the best times I had with my mom, was grieving with her and being able to reminisce and connect about my dad in that way. With that being said, I understand, because when my mom passed away, I had no desire to be here anymore. I believed my whole life that if something happened to her, I was done, I was gone, and I had no desire to be here. I wanted nothing more than join her, and it took me a long time to get out of that mindset and to find a purpose again, because I was my parents' daughter. That's really the only identity I had. I didn't have an identity of my own. I was 22 when my mom passed away, so I was 20 when my dad passed away, and 22 when my mom passed away, and I didn't have an identity of my own in many ways. So it took a while for me to start to find myself again, and it was hard, and I had to make a lot of really bad decisions to get to the point of where I wanted to start making the good ones. And I wish more than anything I wouldn't have done that. I wish that I would have had those skills that I have now to be able to get through. And I made a video on Mother's Day where I gave some insights. David, can you drop the link to that video? David or Aaron, one of the two, of having my Mother's Day without my baby or without my mom. And it was just some of the things that really helped me get through my grief process and some of the things I wish I would have known when I first lost my mom. So when somebody will drop that link in here for you, and I hope that there's at least some insights, but please feel free to reach out to us. Please feel free to share memories of your wife here so we can help keep her alive and so we can be there for you through this process, because I know as much as anyone that it's really difficult. It's really hard. Grief is the hardest thing that we will ever have to go through as in our human experience. So I just want you to know I'm here to hold space for you. Sharknesca crazy. Oh my gosh, I just realized we have to get back and finish the snap cup. I got sidetracked. I realized that I'm pretty sure Sharkness crazy had left a snap. So let's get back into our snaps. But please make sure to drop that link. There's the link. David just dropped that. Vatvikar says, I treated myself, ordered a few shirts, which were delivered the day before yesterday. As a bonus, also came the package from Amanda. That was a nice feeling and did me some good. Snaps to you for treating yourself. I need to do that more, but my treat was this beanbag chair. I got myself this beanbag chair, and it has been glorious. It gave me this little peaceful corner where I can just retire to and read and meditate and things like that. So treating yourself is huge. Snaps for that. Jamie Goddard says, can understand loss. Lost my mom and dad to cancer 2015 and 2017. Glad I have my brother to support me. He's amazing. I'm glad you have support too. Movie Hound says, my win this week is discovering your channel on YouTube. 5-Finger Death Punch's Wrong Side of Heaven, and it blew me away. It made me listen to it in a new perspective, and now I really listen to the hidden story behind the songs. Snaps to you for being here, just for being able to join the community, for being able to listen in a new way. And for the record, that's what this channel has done for me as well, because while I definitely was always a lyric person, I connected much more to lyrics than to the music itself. I think that really reflecting on these songs, really listening to these songs, genuinely, truly listening to these songs has given me the opportunity to connect to new music and to connect to music in a different way, because now I can share that. I can talk about that. And I was always so excited when I found a song that I related to and I could share that with someone in hopes that it would explain how I was feeling when I couldn't. So music is powerful. Glad you're here. Glad that we are helping you grow and expand. Oh, let's see. Oh, I think this is the last really long one. This is Diesel 1976. Bought leftover stock from a computer shop that closed down. Was a battle organizing a way to pick it up. I don't drive, and it was about 60 miles away. Which is 100 kilometers. Ended up having a friend I've not seen face to face in years offer to help. That feels so good. The anxiety of catching up and having someone in my physical presence for a few hours was pretty intense. I refuse to fall again, though, and it's one step closer to starting a business I've been working toward for the last few years. I've been a slave to my anxiety, depression, and believing myself to be nothing for a few decades. But for the last few months, have been making serious inroads to being the person I deep down always believed I can be. Day by day, 1% improvement versus the day before. Fighting, scraping, clawing myself forward. I refuse to fall back down, because if I do, I don't think I'll be able to pick myself back up. I can't be that guy again. It's too much. I battled and had too many ups and intense downs for too long. Can't do it again. I either keep moving forward, or I find a good way to end things. You are going to find a way to keep moving forward, because I can hear your determination. I can feel the strength and the power. Know that there's going to be bad days. Know that there's going to be days that are going to try and knock you down. I've been having them lately too. Know that things will become challenging, that things will be a fight sometimes, but you are always stronger. You don't have to listen to your shadow. You don't have to give in to those things. I'm so proud of you for the progress you're making and for refusing to let it take you down, to let the difficulties take you down and drag you down. You are stronger than that. You are better than that, and I'm proud of you. Blackjack says, stay strong, my brothers, sisters, and in between that are fighting upwards, as well as those not ready to do that yet. Yep, agreed. Yep, there you are, Sharkness Crazy. Finally able to go after a dream of mine starting next month. Snaps to you for being able to pursue your dream, and I hope we get to hear all about it. Jamie Goddard says, discovered Amanda after seeing Would Anyone Care video. Just wanted to thank you so much, Amanda and community, for helping me. Love you all. We love you too. It's okay that you're horrendously late, Casca. We love you anyway. Welcome anyway. Martin Finn says, I'm helping a friend to find rental accommodation so that her son and her are not left homeless. Times are bad for many people. Amanda, could we start a global outreach for cheap, modern accommodation for people in desperate need? I'm actually going to post some resources over in the community because you are absolutely right. Times are bad for a lot of people. I am starting a global outreach. It's not going to be for that, but I don't want to give away too much information. I know y'all are on pins and needles just as much as I am, trying really hard not to stress about the fact that we have been waiting to announce this big project that all of your super chats and all of your super stickers and all of the Patreon pledges are going toward. I promise. There are several people in here that are in the Patreon, so they have that intel that they can tell you that it's close and there's evidence of it existing. But yes, I will do the best I can to help anyone that comes to me and point them in the direction of resources. I am just not able to start another global outreach. I can only do so many. I only have so much time and so much energy. But that's a great idea, Martin, and I'm proud of you for helping your friend and for having the heart to want to help other people. So I'll post some resources over in the community just in case anyone is needing help with homelessness or with security in that essence. Janap, I hope I'm saying that right. GT says, I threw my knife away after self-harming. Big snaps to you. That's hard. I know it's so hard to let go of those things, but you're so much stronger because of it, and getting it out of the reach of temptation is huge, very huge. Proud of you. Eric, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your pledge. Reach to pretender. Thank you so much. Alkin says, didn't hurt myself, and I had an okay-ish week so far. You know what? I will take okay-ish, and I'm proud of you for not hurting yourself. When we struggle, it's a coping mechanism. It's a skill. A lot of us really find difficulty in figuring out what skills to use in difficult situations. That's why one of the reasons I created my free 5-day challenge is just to help people connect with other coping mechanisms, other things like that. But I am so proud of you for resisting that urge, and okay-ish is good enough. We don't always have to have a great week. So big snaps for that. Yes. Well done. Yep. Jamie says, well done for not self-harming. I used to every day, haven't for 3 years. Snaps to you as well. I haven't since 2018. It's the last time that I had a blade. So I know it's a very difficult thing to give up, but it's so much better once we start finding the skills that make us feel empowered. So we're down to the last couple minutes. If anybody has any questions, anybody wants to make any final pledges, we're down to the last 5 minutes or so. That went by really fast after, a half an hour of the stress of trying to figure everything out. I'm really glad that we were still able to have an uplifting stream, because this week has still been a struggle, not quite as much. Okay, it's still been a struggle. I'm just going to leave it at that. But I think that we're getting through these things together. Oh, Erin, thank you. Oh my God. Erin wants me to dance the Macarena to Who Let the Dogs Out. I don't know if I can play music at the same time, but let's find out. Who Let the Dogs Out? That's a very, very, very weird. Oh, I don't have any speakers right now. I don't have speakers right now. I can dance the Macarena, but I don't have the speakers. And my phone doesn't have YouTube. Hang on. I got this. Bryson, I need you to pull up the song Who Let the Dogs Out on YouTube and turn it up. And I need you to come up here for a second. Not at 100. Oh, I was just speaking English. Whoops. Nope, just so I can hear it up here. Here we go. Hang on a second. It's not excuses. I'm trying here, all right? Apparently, he tried to search Who Let the Dogs Out and came up with Breaking Bad. Oh, goodness. Kirk says, remember you are worthy. Don't let one wipe out all of your attaboys. That's a good way of looking at it. I really don't think you understand how much you've helped several people or helped people in this community. You've saved me several times. That's all I really wanted. Oh, there we go. This channel was inspired by Chester Bennington and his life and his legacy, and he saved me, and I just wanted to be somebody's Chester. Let's see if this is the right song. There you go. I have to dance on stream. I got pledged to dance on stream. Oh, he does. We have to be able to hear. I don't remember the whole Macarena. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but yippee-yi-yo. Binge watching The Boys is quite entertaining. I like The Boys because you get to see Chase Crawford's butt. Then I quit watching. Am I doing the Macarena correctly? Who let the dogs out? Songs that would never be made in 2022, I tell you. Eric Master says, Chester really was an amazing person. Met him at a show. It still hits me hard when I hear his music. I never met Chester, but I met Mike, and I'm friends with Chester's son, Jamie. So I do have some Chessants in my life, but I'm heartbroken that I never got to meet Chester. Oh, gosh, the things I do for y'all. Hey, Amanda. Luke Alone Production says, hey, Amanda, my ex is keep typing me very bad things. I don't know what to do. What should I do? Cut ties. When people want to be toxic, the best thing to do is to block them and walk away. A lot of times when we get out of toxic relationships, that person is going to try to reel us back in and pull us back in. And the best thing to do is to just go no contact. And I know that can be ridiculously difficult, but the best thing to do is just go no contact if they can't respect your boundaries and can't give you the love and respect that you deserve. I'm still wanting to do the Macarena over here. I can't believe I even remember the Macarena. How does that stick in my head? But then the things that I need to remember, I don't. David says, I love seeing Amanda's light still on and growing stronger. Carry Chester's flame forward with pride. With pride. I will do the best I can. Hashtag make Chester proud. Black Dog says, congrats to everyone that stopped self-harming. Inspirations to me, honestly. I actually made a video a while back about how to stop self-harming and some of the things that helped me. So maybe that can also be helpful to you. P.S. I don't know if you noticed, but I can't dance any better than I can sing. So I apologize that you'll have to see that. Thank God you didn't do the ketchup song. What the hell's the ketchup song? I don't want to know. Casca said, block indeed. Block my narcissist brother for gaslighting, guilt-tripping tirades. Yep. I am just at a point in my life where I have no room for things like that. I used to really struggle in cutting ties with people who weren't serving me. And I'm not saying serving me as in they're my slaves, but if they're not serving my mental health, if they're not conducive, if having them in my life isn't conducive to my well-being, then bye, Felicia. I have no patience for that. It took me, by the way, about the Who Let the Dogs Out song, it took me until my late 20s to realize that song was about ugly people. And I can understand why that song wouldn't be socially acceptable in 2022. I do like in many ways that we're moving more toward positivity, but at the same time, I don't think most people really realized that back then. Boston says, my brother and I opened a tour guide business before the invasion, and we showed all the landmarks, including the famous Chernobyl. I'm so sorry, I probably did not. Chernobyl. After the invasion, a Russian bomb hit our business when he was inside. That's heartbreaking, absolutely devastating. I hope that there's some way that you can pick up the pieces and honor him and his legacy in some way once this settles down, once this is over, or maybe from where you're at now. I really hope that you do find a way to be able to honor him and be able to get back on track, because I can't fathom that this is still happening in our world. It boggles my mind that this is still happening in our world. Thank you, David, for sharing the self-harm vlog. Black Dog says, I hope you're doing well, Amanda. Thanks for the stream. I felt like I got to help even the tiniest bit, even the tiniest thanks to this. I got some affirmation too. Well, good. I'm glad that it was able to help. Boston, if there is anything we can do for you, please let us know. My heart does break for those that are having to flee their homes and are losing people they love because of people's greed and anger and lack of love. That's really what it boils down to, is there's a lack of love and a drive for greed and power, and it's corrupting our world. Vincent says, okay, now you have to listen to the ketchup song. Oh my gosh. Do I need to do a reaction to the ketchup song? You know what, Vincent? You are over on the Patreon. I will do a reaction to the ketchup song for you, all right? We will listen to it together on the next stream. I won't do a reaction, but we'll listen to it together on the next stream, because if I have to suffer, y'all have to suffer too. How's that? But thank you. Helping others is very therapeutic. Amanda just created the Amanda Reina. Did I do it wrong? Did I do the Macarena wrong? I don't remember. It's been since junior high, okay? And that's a very long time, and now I feel old. Thanks, Stephen, for making me feel old. This says never listen to the ketchup song. I can't listen now unless I pull it up, and we are not doing that, because if he hasn't heard that song, then he's going to get stuck on it. And if he has heard it, then it's just going to be sung around my house for days, because I am imagining that it's some catchy, quirky fad going on right now, and you are not exposing my child to that. So I'm not playing it from downstairs right now. It's not going to happen. I love you, but I don't love you that much. Aaron asked, do you have any headphones left? Yes, I believe I have 4 pairs left. So if anybody wants to grab a set of headphones, I think I have a couple pink and a couple blue. I will sign them here on stream. It's all in Spanish. Oh my God, so now you want me to listen to a Spanish song about ketchup? What is wrong with you? I think there's a debate here going on. Let's see who can get more pledges. People telling me to not listen to the ketchup song, or people telling me to listen to the ketchup song. Let's see where that goes. Whoever can get the most is who wins. Are you going to save my sanity, or are you going to drive me absolutely crazy? Chernobyl is a nuclear power plant in Soviet-controlled Ukraine back in 1986, and the power plant had a meltdown, turning the whole area into an unlivable place for 20,000 years. That is disgusting. I don't understand I just don't, I really don't understand. There are some mindsets I just can't get into at all. And that is one of them. I can't understand how people can be so disconnected and care so little about humanity and about people. I'll never be that evil. David says, if I survived 8 hours of NSYNC, we can survive one song. No ketchup song here. I came here to feel better. The ketchup song is also like 20 years old. Was music around 20 years ago? Just kidding. Oh my God. I just realized what 20 years ago really meant. That's scary. That's really scary. Dreamer's Night says 8 hours of NSYNC. That would make me depressed if I wasn't already. No, because you'd be with me and you get to listen to me sing for all this time. You get to listen to me sing and be happy and jam out and go, it's Joey. Shh. The whole car has to be quiet. The whole car has to be silent for Joey's solo, all right? So you get to watch me geek out. Oh my God, Vincent now wants me to learn the ketchup dance too. I'm gonna cry. David tried to jump from a moving car and David sang along a little bit. Oh gosh. All right. So apparently I have some homework to do here. If you're wanting to see me listen to the ketchup song for the first time, come jump over on the Patreon. I will do that. I will listen to it with everyone else so I can torture you all too. I will listen to that over on the next Patreon live stream, which I believe is next weekend. We do have a lot of live reactions that I do not post on my YouTube over there. So I react live on Patreon streams, and then we just hang out and chat and support each other. And it's a lot more personal because we can all see each other and we can all talk and we can all have our time to speak. And also we just talk about a lot more personal subjects. So it's not just mental health and stuff like it is here. It's interests and shows that we're watching and things like that. It's more casual, but we are very supportive and tight-knit over there. So if you're wanting to see me listen to the ketchup song and apparently learn the ketchup dance, and Casca's going to have nightmares about the ketchup dance. Maybe you need to find a metal version. Maybe you need to make a metal version of this ketchup dance. But yes, ketchup with y'all later. Oh gosh. Yep. Aaron's not wrong. Dissing NSYNC is the quickest way to get blocked on my channel. Truth. Right next to mixing up NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys. So tread lightly. So I ran over a little bit after a lot of technical difficulties. Should probably go feed the child. So I will see you guys soon. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for sharing some difficult stuff, some positive stuff. I am so happy that we can just hold space for the good, bad, and the crazy. I will see you guys soon. Mwah.